UK black actors. This again is another one of those things where they have to filter. Historical dramas limit UK black. BBC reports historical dramas limit UK black actors. This again is another one of those things where they have to filter everything through the lens of social justice. Actress Sandy Newton has said she can't work in the UK because there are no roles for black and minority ethnic actors in historical dramas. London-born Newton said the number of costume dramas had led to slim pickings for people of colour. The criticism comes after the British Film Institute research found that 59% of UK films since 2006 had no black actors in any role. Well, the problem with not including black actors in historical dramas is if you did include black actors in historical dramas set in England 200 years ago, they would cease to be historical.
Right. All praise unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay. Double honesty, apostles of GMS. Honestly, brothers, will be pushing this truth and sincerity for the four corners of the earth. It's going to be a relatively quick video. And really, this is dealing with a few various different topics. Okay. Topics pertaining to Esau. Okay. Topics pertaining to the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. Okay. And pretty much what you're seeing here is a repetitious situation being conjured up within the Edomite infrastructure. Okay, so we have is a situation is that here it is, you got it to where the word of the Most High is going out there. Okay, and you got some sort of Jakes out there, Negroes, Hispanics, or Native Americans that are within high positions within the society. Okay, and because they are in those positions, all right, Esau uses that as a means of saying, okay, what is this you're talking about in terms of Edomite supremacy, Edomite privilege? What is this you're talking about? You're in a good position. Or as he's put it within his own words, what he's calling the social lens. Okay, so I believe the word that he used was the social lens, which is a clever way of saying, you know, shut up and get on with it. Okay, pretty much, because what he's saying there is there's nothing to be worried about. There's no problem here. You don't have to look into this any deeper. Okay, there's no problem here, because guess what? You're already in them particular situations, and as he's mentioned in the history, okay, you don't know how to where you had Negroes within Europe prior to 200 years ago, etc., etc. Okay, so first and foremost, historically speaking, that's incorrect. Okay, maybe more so, maybe 200 years ago. Okay, because we know that Esau came into prominence around about the 1600s. Okay, but if they did a timepiece on the Tudors, okay, you had a timepiece on the Tudors, then you would find out that those accurate timepiece on the Tudors, then you would find out that those people wouldn't have been a people of color. Okay, you do a timepiece of any time of prominence. Okay, any period piece on prominent empires between round about was it the 600 AD, you know, round about the time of the Holy Roman Empire, right up until the 1600s. Then you're gonna find out that it was the Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans that were in rulership. Okay, but as you would have it, and as it's so blatantly obvious to the people that have the eyes to see through the darkness, as pursuant to the book of Isaiah, was it the 60th chapter, that how the Lord's gonna set us up as a and see through the darkness. I believe it's the 60th chapter, or it might be the 33rd verse, rather more the 33rd chapter. Okay, when you're gonna see through the darkness, you're gonna see a simple truth. Okay, how that you're in a society that really doesn't like you that much. Okay, why? Because ultimately, going back onto the scriptures, we're gonna get a few right here. Okay, going back onto the scriptures, you're actually the chosen people of the Most High. Okay, so a means of getting equality is actually you losing out. Okay, and that's what you got it to wear. And I find this woman very interesting, because she's actually dressed like the enemy right here. Okay, she's dressed like Esau. Okay, she's putting on. If you close your eyes and you squint, then you will think that this was a Edomite woman. Okay, you might think this is a heathen woman. Okay, but the simple fact of the matter is this: that we've been subverted. Okay, we've been destroyed. And our people look to a God that doesn't exist. Okay, in other words, they put up the image of Cesar Borgia and they looked to fashion themselves in an image that is like that, because as far as they're concerned, that is God. Okay, that is truth. Okay, but as you're gonna see within the scriptures, well, the people of the Most High were people of color. So you're gonna do a period piece upon the scriptures. Well, guess what? You're gonna have a whole bunch of niggas up in that movie. Okay, because you had it to where you had Judah, Benjamin, and Levi within the land of the Most High after the Latin-speaking tribes had gone over into the Americas, and you can read about that within 2nd Ezra. I believe it's in the 13th chapter, but don't quote me on that one. Okay, once they had left to the Americas, you had it to where you had what? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Okay, so when they do a time period on the scriptures, a historical time period on the scriptures, okay, well, guess what? Them people within those timepieces would have had to be people of color. Okay, so I'm gonna get some basic scriptures just to prove that. So this is gonna be within the book of Jeremiah. Okay, just get one scripture to prove this. Okay, Jeremiah the 14th chapter, and I went into this in the last one of the last videos I did. Was it Jeremiah the 17th chapter on the 4th verse? So I had it already in the history. Okay, so it's Jeremiah 17:4. So the scripture reads that how I mean, this is a good one. It's not really the one I wanted. I wanted to be in the 14th chapter. So if I open that up in another tab, okay, I'll come back to this one, but I'll get the one I want now. Okay, so I can move these points with some kind of consistency. Okay, so if we go to Jeremiah, the 14th chapter, and I believe it's in the 2nd verse, then you're gonna find out that how the people of the Most High were people of color. Okay, so this is Jeremiah 14:2. It says, Judah mourneth. Okay, the gates thereof languish. They're black unto the ground. Shakor. I believe the word here is Shakor. And it says, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up, because it was a famine within the land. And as is the case of people with people of color, okay, they darken as they go through that particular adversity. Okay. Now it's important for me to go to this scripture next. This is the book of Job, the 9th chapter, on the 24th verse. Okay, because the point I'm going to make in a second is going to be related to this scripture. So it says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Okay, which this is one of the spawn of the evil of the wicked right here. Okay, this is one of the spawn. You can tell by his characteristics, his mannerism, that this is one of the sons of Esau. Okay, because as far as he's concerned, is you should be just happy that you're happy to be a slave. Okay, but see, I'm here to tell you that you don't have to be attaining or trying to obtain some kind of a compensatory reparations from Esau. I like that word. Okay, I took that from a particular brother. Shout out to that brother. But you ain't gonna look for some kind of money out here from Esau. Okay, being on some kind of equal footing with Esau, because as the scripture says here in the book of Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter on the 6th verse, that thou art a holy people unto the Most High. Okay, a special people unto himself. So when we combine these scriptures here, this is basic milk scriptures, and you build the thing up and you build an image within your head and you add it all up together. That's how you learn, you know. So here it is, we're going in Jeremiah the 14th chapter on the 2nd verse, and tells you that the Judah, okay, talking about all the Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, they are people of color. Okay, then we find out the people of color are the special people unto the Most High. Okay, then you would think, okay, if really this was if you're trying to make some kind of fairity in terms of these jakes out here that are trying to get some money off of Esau, or trying to get some kind of roles and this, that, and the third, and be equal with that, you would think that if they had any kind of sense, then they'll realize within these scriptures that they don't have to be equal with Esau, because the Most High sees them as a superior people. Now we are in a state of being in captivity. Okay, we are in a state of being in captivity. Matter of fact, the scripture says we're going to go on to our enemy for want of all things. Okay, but when you go into the scriptures here within the book of Jeremiah, the book of Genesis, the 3rd chapter on the 16th verse, it says here, unto the woman I shall greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception, and in sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and shall rule over thee. Okay, that's not the one I wanted. Where do I want to be? There we go. I want it to be in the 15th chapter. So it says, I'll put enmity between between thee and the woman. And that's the contention that you can see from his characteristics, his mannerisms, okay, his deterrence to have it to where you niggas on screen, right? Because ultimately that's what it comes down to, all right. Because if you was going by the simple fact of prior to the 1600s, you had blacks ruling and people understood it, and you had all kind of period pieces dealing with Jake being in rulership. But see, that's an image that goes against the fabric of his society, of his mental mind makeup. Okay, that goes against that. But like I said, you ain't supposed to be looking to have just that. You're looking to have it to where the Most High puts you back on this on a level as spoken about here within the book of Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter and the 6th verse. Okay, being a people above all people upon the face of the earth. Okay, so it says, "For thou art holy people unto the Most High." All right, the Lord hath chosen thee to be a special people unto Himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. That's what the Most High said for the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. Okay, so here it is here in the book of Genesis, the 3rd chapter and the 15th verse. It says, "I'll put enmity between thee and the woman, and thy seed shall be and thy seed and her seed." Okay, so the children of Esau, children of the serpent, they was gonna have enmity between the children of the women, which was the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. Okay, of which we got Israelites out there amidst the Italians, Israelites out there amidst the Moabites, these Israelites out there in Kenya now, going under and getting into the understanding of who they are in terms of being, in terms of following the word by way of the elders of GMS. Okay, so this whole thing, this whole notion of Jake pursuing some type of equality with Esau, that's just being a homeborn slave. And you can see how Esau's already reacting to that. He said, no, you can't have that. So what you're supposed to be attaining is you're supposed to be attaining this status. Because really Esau, that's the only option Esau is giving you. Okay? That's the only option that he's actually giving you. You ain't going to be on the same level as Esau within this society. So why not be what the Most High intended you to be, in that you're going to be above all the people upon the face of the earth. Okay, which is what the Lord's going to set up when He returns, okay, and establishes Jerusalem as a praise upon the face of the earth. Okay, so with that, hopefully that was of edification. In fact, I wanted to read this scripture, okay, because this touches on excuse me, this touches on Jakes that were in rulership, okay, Israelites that were in rulership, prior to the 1600s, okay? So it says, "The earth is given into the hands of the wicked, he covereth the faces of the judges thereof." So if you do, if they're doing a historical piece, right, on the judges that ruled in a particular time piece and time period, furthermore, okay, then you're gonna have it to where the judges, the faces of the judges are covered up, and they look like what? They look like Esau right here, okay? All right, they look like Edomites, all right, like this individual here, okay? So hopefully that was of edification. Hopefully that was inspirational, or quickens your spirit in some way or some fashion. Okay, we ain't in here in this society to be equal to Esau. This is all for our punishment. But now you're seeing it to where the punishment is getting to an end. So you're gonna get what? You're gonna have it to where there's gonna be a role reversal, pursuant to the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter, and the first and the 2nd verse, I believe, in the 1st or 2nd verse. Okay, so that I'm gonna say, "Oh, praise unto Yahweh, Shemi Al Shai, double honors the apostles of GMS, honors you brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity." Shalom.